You know, sorry, my last video, something happened with my microphone. I think my battery died at some point. So this is a part two. It stopped when I was listening to the different testimony of all the different women. As I said, these people really want to pretend to be this group of people who are just avenging for all the things I've done, and they try to bring up everything that they can create. Then whatever vilification. And mind you, I'm not perfect. There's things I've done that I'm not proud of, but I'll never subscribe to these nasty pedophilia persona they've implanted. But at the same time, I know that removing that, I'm not perfect. Now when I say that, these people are like, oh, you're gonna pay for it. And the reason why I'm putting things in perspective is like the people who tell me that are people responsible and involved in a program that do horrible things to women. How much blood they have on their hands, who knows? How much torment they have in the responsibility of torment when it comes to women and children, who knows? But I know it's happening, and it's been happening. So when they do this thing and try to bring up whatever things I've done, right? Actually, they're not their version. Sometimes they create a wish without, they make me think of me at this club, right? And me, I was like 18, 22, and while I was there, I'll do things that's just stupid, things that I look back is just idiotic, right? And mind you, they try to create their version. Now, you just heard the first part, what they do to women. You heard what nasty. Why me? They try to just, oh, you did, like stupid things. And then they're like, oh, what about this woman? We're doing this for. And you heard what they do to these women. They've destroyed. I was saying, like, I was able to talk to one of the person they said they're doing it for. And I was like, hey, how's life? He's like, life is good. My life, me and my family are living our best life. And I was listening to the testimony of one of the women in this program and how they destroy her. How they destroy. And it's funny, it's like they're going to tear up. The testimony of women saying their muscles been tore up, their things up. They can't walk properly, like all of that. Like, whatever facade they're trying to portray, I'm not going to subscribe to it. Listen to this. This is where my video stopped. Listen to this.
How you feel that you've been injustice? You mean as far as the Justice Department feeling me? Well, in terms of your being a victim. You mean what I'm feeling? Yeah, explain a little bit to me how you perceive yourself as being. I have actual photographs of burns on my body. When I went to my doctor, the response was, how do I know you didn't do that to yourself? How do you even address that? I've passed 2 psychological evaluations, not 1 but 2. The one physician said, you're mentally sound as a bell. He said, I don't have any idea what's going on with you. When I go to sleep, when I go to try to sleep, I feel like I'm being lit up like a Christmas tree. I feel every cell in my body just bouncing out of my body. I can't even describe it. I get electric shock of my rectum. I get electric shock of my nose. I've woken up with burns on the end of my tongue. I've had burns on the palms of both my hands. I vibrate. I can barely hold a piece of paper without quivering. Does that answer your question? I'm trying to find what's the source of these. The source are these exotic weapons. They talk about, in 2977, they talk about the space weapons, space-based weapons. Basically, in that document, it talks about exotic weapons. That's what we're talking about. And the fact of the matter is, they did complete that global surveillance network. My cousin worked for the Defense Department. She worked on the global mapping of that system. And when I told her what I was going through, all she could say was, you're on your own. Well, I figured that out. If you would please, I urge you to pass this. I realize you can't enforce it, but if you would pass it, it might give other communities the courage to do the same thing and show our Defense Department we are not the enemy. We are not to be attacked. We are not terrorists. Most of us are defenseless women.
This is what you understand? They're destroying these people's life. They're destroying our life, but women's life, children, like, it's just crazy. I can continuously go and show more. I, you can. I mean, it's just nonstop. It's nonstop.
Walking into a bank. I get buzzing sensations on the soles of my feet and individual toes. I also get facial manipulations, just to name a few of the things that happen to me. I feel as though I am being roboticized. This was used to implement this non-consensual biotechnology application that is being used on me. I now experience involuntary limb movements. I receive stingings. I get pains to my head, to my abdomen, to my vaginal area, and to my anal area. I am receiving.
I mean, like, I'm not gonna let them leave their fantasy. I heard this person say, oh, he needs to fight. Because I keep bringing that up. I cannot get this. I'm not gonna let these people live these ways of like trying to portray themselves as. Listen, I know. Like I said, far from perfect. Done things that I'm not proud of. Some stupid things here and there. But there's nobody, especially there's nobody who say this person, me. I'm not gonna say my name. This man did this to me, and it has, like, I'm in nobody's mind, and like nobody's thinking about me and wants or need, like, nobody. And it's not gonna come from people who are involved in these things and doing these things so when they bring up names of anybody where they're like, oh, for this person, this woman, you did it, I'm like, I pray for this woman to never be put in this program, because I know she could be not the target individual where her life is destroyed. Now, I'd rather die slow. I'd rather deal with what, but I will never let them live their fantasy. They like tell me you're gonna see a monster. Like, they're trying to compensate for reality. Do you know they have women there just dying and tortured? They're doing these horrible things to this woman. I could show pictures right now of how, like, a woman's face being peeled off. A woman's face puffed up. It looked like she was like beat up. Like, you see the before and after. She see normal when she was normal. See her looking like a beautiful woman, puffy. Looks like her face she's been beaten. You see a face of the feet of women. There's like stuff coming out of their legs. And, like, it's just non-stop. But I know who put me in this program too. So when they try to play, it's like, oh, he needs. Oh, look at what he did there. Oh, you'll pay. Oh, you. I'm like, this is coming from people who are killing women, torturing them. I will not let them live their fantasy. Listen, if it came from somebody who's not involved in these things, who's not participating in this program, maybe I'll be like, oh, but I'm like, I remember the day I found out, I was like, oh my goodness. First I was like, where are these people? And I'm thinking about this, like, okay, I'm not, like, I've done some stupid thing. It's like, where is this? Okay, like, and I literally tried to look up some people. I'm like, go back, it's like, where is she? I literally tried to find somebody they were looking for. They'll tell me about. I tried to look at. But now I'm like, oh my gosh. I just pray for this woman to never be put in this program. These people are horrible. It's been ongoing. And the thing is, I was put in this program by my old employer. That's why I'm here. And my old employer is this group of super conservative people, and there's a reason why they can't even speak of a man that allegedly was picking up kids at the YMCA when he was an assistant DA. Well, me, they try to come up with their, that club, like, oh, but okay, this club does, because you got to go in at 17, and and me, because I was going there when I was 18 to 22. They try to say, but you know what, this happened, they try to give me, like, what if? I'm like, listen, first of all, look at my age, look at I was within people with my age range, my age group. You're trying to just come up with what you can put together. while you are yeasting and forcing discharges into women's genitals and even torturing kids sexually. I can bring that up too. I can bring this up. They're gonna disturb me, but
throughout the day, every day, and anytime I am awakened at night, every night. They range from mild to extreme, as they often do. One day she had a large, severe bite mark on her arm.
that's a 7-year-old.
She has also grabbed her crotch, saying, "Ow," and this was used
7-year-old.
to threaten me with severe sexual torture.
Sexual torture on 7-year-old with autism.
One day I also observed her gasping for air a few times in the same way that
7-year-old.
I do when I am being more severely suffocated. The suffocation had been in a mild state for a while up until this point. Many of their torture methods are cyclical in severity. Right after I saw this child being suffocated,
7-year-old child.
then I began to experience very extreme suffocation all day, every day.
They're making noise campaign to interrupt me. 7-year-old child with autism.
Then I also work with a 4-year-old
4-year-old,
with Down syndrome,
5-year-old.
as well as her 5-year-old sister, who also has Down syndrome. I observed both of these girls suddenly grabbing their
4-year-old,
genitals
5-year-old.
and verbalizing "ow." I observed
Torture sexually and suffocating them. There was somebody in the hallway who tried to make noise campaign. They did something. I heard a noise campaign there, tried to interrupt me. These are the people trying to make me subscribe to it. They are trash. And they call themselves, we're wicked. Well, no, you're coward, low life. I understand. You're in full mode. You can do things to people remotely. I know that kind of people. I'm aware. Weak people that, when they felt empowered, would do the foulest thing to people. In a program that does all these things, and they try to talk about stupid, dumb things I've done when I was like at a club, 18, 22. While these people are here doing these things, while they're frying kids, while they're torturing women sexually and do all, like, it's just ridiculous. It can go on and on and on. If I could, it's just as nasty, but somehow they try to block it away. It's like, oh my gosh, what you've done. Oh, he needs to die. He needs to, oh my gosh. I'm like, this coming from this woman, these people who are doing these horrible things to women. They are killing them. How many of them, it's just disgusting. So I'm not going to let them live their fantasy. As they try to make me think, oh, this woman, I'm like, oh my gosh. I can name, like I had a list of maybe 60 women, I just will say. All the time. When they say something like that, okay, oh, her? Okay, what about this? What about this? What about this? What about, I'm saying, what about hers? They try to manipulate. What about this woman? What about this woman? So, as they keep saying they're waiting for me because they're going to frame me, and then whatever's going to happen to me when I'm framed is that they're trying to find ways to make themselves feel like this is like for justice. Yeah, the people who do all these things for justice. You who torture, not gonna let you live your fantasy. And they like to nothing. You're not gonna get to me. No, I'm not trying to get to you. I just want to make sure that you see yourself for what you are. I don't care what you get to you. I'm not like they think I'm saying that so they can say they can look at themselves. No, I'm doing that. I'm putting this in perspective. So when whatever happens to me, I'm like, this is the people who is involved in this program try to make me think that they're doing it for justice. This is trash. They've done horrible things to women and children. That's why they want me to fight so much, is because I keep bringing that up. And it annoys them. How can you call us trash? You are the trash. See, look what you did. I'm like, what? Do you know what you guys do to me? To these women? Die. They're like, die. I'm like, listen to a woman who talks about she gets discharges. She's been tortured sexually for 3 years straight. I was like, die. I'm listening to, I'm watching my kids dying off or hurting or being tortured. And they die. Can you imagine? It's like, don't die for this woman. Like, oh my gosh, she's living her best life with her family. Let me listen to this woman who's dying slow, who's in the street now, has a whole house, but because the neighbors moved, there's neighbors who are like this trash, frying her up. She lives in her car. And they die. Like you're such a fraud. Trash. Now I understand it's not gonna stop what's gonna happen to me, but I do not want them to live their fantasy. When they do this to me, however they try to bring up the things, whatever they try, the noise campaign, it's like you are these nasty things. You're not, I see my neighbors, right? I see one of this mother. She tries to talk to me, and I'm looking at her. I was like, I don't even feel I don't even hate you, because I see you for what you really are. You sold your soul to these pedophiles that do horrible things to children. You wanted to make it seem like we're doing it for this way. Like, yo, you know how much the list of women and people you've destroyed when you try to come up with your stupidity? You forced me to experience this nastiness 24/7. 24/7. You forced me to be seen, and you think I'm going to identify with this false persona. And then when you bring up actually things that, I'm like, do you know how much I know about the nastiness you do? And you use these childlike individuals who are supposed to make me accept this. They came and speak about somebody who picked up kids. Then you find out this bunch, it's just ridiculous. I'm so validated, it's crazy. And they tell you, they're going to watch me die. Okay. This is the same people watching women and children die. Oh, no, we won't. What do you mean you won't? This is what you do. I'm not trying to make you, we won't feel bad. Like, what? No, I know. I'm saying you're doing this to women and children. I don't care. I don't know what you're saying, but you won't. But one thing for sure, for your efforts to do and your godlike fantasies, you will be properly reimbursed. I understand this technology is military grade. You're experimenting on human beings. We are subjects to this. Do these horrible things. You develop this weapon to a better weapon, meaning do more to it. Sufferance in this study is something that is researched and developed to better this weaponry. This is a weapon to hurt people, and they're trying to make this weapon even better. Hurt them psychologically, manipulate psychologically, see them, all of that. I know I'm in a program that this is not for free. There's benefits in the sense of improving this thing. I know, I understand. We are human subjects in this disturbing study, in this disturbing program. And we are tested on and manipulated in these disgusting ways. And we're going to experience horrible things. And they do this to women and children. And they use these childlike people who would love to feel empowered. They're trash, though. And then on top of that, when they try to talk about, you are the pedophile, I was like, oh my gosh, you guys are filled with the intelligence community just happen to have a bunch of pedophiles. And by the way, testimonies are super, I'm listening to one of these women, and she talks about how there's this pattern of torments. As a target individual, you will experience certain similar things. And some of the patterns are the pedophilia type of things. And they're making me itch here. I don't know why. I think it's supposed. There's patterns when it comes to these protocols that they all utilize, and the pedophilia type of torture is one of them. So I'm gonna continue to speak up and make sure that and make sure that they don't live their fantasy. So when they say fight, that he needs to fight, it's like, listen, I'm not going to let you live your fantasy. So I'm a target individual. For me, that's what they do. That's what they do to me. And regardless of me suffering, and I will never let them live their fantasy. For all the women that have destroyed, all the children they've been tormenting and tortured, all these horrible things they've done, the list goes on and on. As they talk about me and whatever, I will not let them live the fantasy. I know who I am. I know, of course, my imperfection. I know the stupid things I've done. I know the real me. I will not forget who I am, even though I'm not experiencing the real me anymore. Now it's this disturbing pedophilia version of everything. I will not forget that these people do this pedophilia shit. These pedophilia things. They're making me I curse more than before. As you can see, it's becoming harder for me to speak, and that's why I'm speaking now more and more, because there will be a time when I won't. And they like to use these warnings of, we're gonna frame you, and this and that. So I understand. Of course, I 100% believe they'll frame me, but you understand. I see them as trash. With trash, do this kind of things, absolutely. Just like trash will torture women, torture children, and do the things that they do. They are frauds, disgusting frauds, but they are not special. They're just the bottom feeders. So I rather fry, like these kids are frying, these women are frying, and peeling off like these women, than do what they do. These trash ass, these trash human beings, these perps, these cowards of cowardness. I will never let them live their fantasy. I rather lose my feet, as they like to say, burn my feet. Then they will never. I will never subscribe to these things, and I will never let them live their fantasy. Never. Yes, it will hurt. I don't want to hurt, but I'd rather hurt than do what they do. And they're like, oh, you gotta fight. You gotta listen. I've never physically. I've lost a lot of strength. I don't eat properly. I can barely have a full meal. They've destroyed my gastro, my digestive organs. I'm slowly fading away. Like, just I don't know what they're doing to it, but it's bad. I don't digest it the proper way. Like, they're trash. But this is what they do. There's nothing they do to, like, this. Everything has been said. Everything, and this I have like documents from 2007 saying the things that's happening to me today. So you gotta understand, like, now how precise things can be. Coming from people who wanted to play this activist, feminist, progressive, avengist, radical look like facade. It's the opposite. They are trash that work for these government entities that do these horrible things to people. They're doing things to my rectum, just like this woman. They have this disgusting trash. So let's never subscribe to these target individuals. Stay strong, and understand that regardless of the imperfection, first of all, don't accept the falsifications of your persona, of who you really are, and understand nobody's perfect. We have all done some things that we're not proud of. We have certain things that we might have now look back and, like, when we feel embarrassed, don't have done that. But understand, you have not impacted somebody's life negatively, and there's nobody who's looking back and is like, oh, you have ruined my life. These people have people all around the world. They've done horrible things to some of these most innocent people, vulnerable people, women and children. To all the women, Tia, stay strong. I don't know, you are the strongest out of everybody. The reason why I'm able to speak right now this way is because of these testimonials of these women. And earlier they're like, oh, they're gonna castrate you. I was like, listen, I'd rather get castrated than be involved. You've given me dignity that I will never have. I will die with dignified men. But torture and torment, I understand. I keep bringing up reality that they don't want to see, and it frustrates them even more. So, to all my targeted individuals, stay strong, and know that justice will be done.